So I've just come off from doing an emotion code session, and as always, it just never ceases to amaze me just how powerful this technique is. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about how the session went because it just blows my mind every time. So my client was first wanting to work on the fact that she wasn't clear and be able to communicate what she does as a job. She does EFT and tapping and coaching, but she just didn't seem she could get it across clearly to the public. And then we got talking about different emotions, all sorts of stuff. And I said, look, I think it could be good. That was it. We got talking, and I said, I get the feeling that things stop here, that you're too much in your head, and what's stopping you going in your heart. And she got talking about different problems and how she was in her life, how that she could not really get into emotion. It would always have to be, no, go forwards, go forwards, go forwards, and forget the emotion side of things, which is obviously a sign that, you're living in your head. And she said that, that was something else. That was after. So I said, look, I think we need to work on your heart wall. And so what is a heart wall? A heart wall is basically when we go through a very difficult time emotionally, our subconscious can build a wall around our hearts to protect us from further pain. It's all very, it doesn't actually exist. It's just an energetic representation. And when I work on the heart wall, I like to find out the thickness and what the wall is made of, and it's quite revealing. Some people don't always do it in emotion code to find out what it's made of, but I love to do it because it just shows so much. And this was a classic. So basically, her heart wall was 28 kilometers thick. This is just, it's not real. This is just, your body saying, look, this is how I feel, how bad it is. And so then I went in and I asked her subconscious, what is this wall made of? Is it made of something natural? No. Synthetic? Yes. Something harder than metal? No. Something softer? Is it plastic? No. And then it just came into my mind, nylon. And I said, is it nylon thread? No, not nylon thread. Nylon scarves? And yes, it was nylon scarves. So I said, what does this mean to you? What does nylon scarves mean to you? And she says, well, actually, I have a lot of scarves. I have 28 scarves. And she says, often wear them around my neck. And I says, interesting. So your neck, that's where your throat chakra is. You're obviously trying to protect it. And she said, oh my goodness, yes. She said, and she said, when I was born with a cord around my neck, with the cord, the belt, the umbilical cord, not a rope cord, umbilical cord around my neck. And I said, well, there's your first block. I said, that's why the throat chakra, that's why you can't express your true self, your authentic self, because the communication isn't clear because here it's blocked. And so that was one enlightenment. I have my piece of paper here. I'm just trying to go over the notes. And then the colours, I asked her subconscious, what colours were they? And it was red. When I do this, no, is it red? Yes. Is it orange? No. Is it yellow? Yes. And is it indigo? Yes. So 3 colours from the chakra spectrum, and obviously red for the root chakra. So kind of a lot of fear and scarcity base, which is also part of her problems. Yellow of solar plexus, confidence coming from ego, which will also be coming from the head. Lack of self-worth, and indigo, intuition, dreams. To me, that also still coming up from the heart base. It's like really imagining things. And she said as well, there was a lot of healers in her family. A lot of the scarves she's had came down from the from obviously the female side of the family. She's obviously inherited some of those, and there's lots of healers in her family. And then we started to release a lot of the emotions. When you have a heart wall, you make it like Lego. So each of the Lego bricks is like the emotions. And each time we release the emotions, the heart wall reduces until we get to no emotions left. So we released from her heart wall grief, failure, insecurity, lots of failure going on, heartache, and then that was it, it was gone. Heartache was a big one. I felt it very, very strong. So we released the heart wall and we carried on talking. I said, look, let's see what other emotions come up here. Now we've released the heart wall. And I says, has your, what you want to work on, had it changed about clear communication? And she says, well, in actual fact, I really think I need to be working on my authentic self, how to be my authentic self. And the first one that came up was grief, and then creative insecurity. And creative insecurity, 39, and that came out as my client had had ovarian cancer. And that was a very, very difficult time for her, emotionally wise, job wise, family wise. She wasn't getting the support she needed. And she had a lot of resentment for the family for not giving her that support. And then I said, I really get the feeling with your creative insecurity. I said, with the ovarian cancer, so that's root based as well, root chakra based. And I said, also, I said, I get the feeling you left something behind. I said, I felt like as if different parts of you were running a race, and there was one part of you that got left behind in that race, as if everybody was jumping over hurdles, one didn't make it and stayed there. And that, I said, somewhere in this is the feminine. I said, the divine feminine, the feminine energy. And she said, wow, it's completely true. And abandonment came up immediately. I said, well, there's your abandonment of your feminine side. And she said, my goodness, that's so true. And the way she lives, of just carrying on, living very much ahead, not talking about the emotion, it felt very masculine based, and not jumping into the more feminine, more intuitive side. So to me, her feminine side had already been abandoned at 39 with ovarian cancer. And I said, you're a woman. I says, the divine feminine, I says, that to me is also being your authentic self. It's being part of who you really are, being the feminine. And then the last one came up, it was resentment. And she said, well, yeah, there's a lot of that. I resent my family for not helping me, for not turning to me. They never asked me how I'm doing now as a single parent. And so I kind of said, well, where do you resent yourself? Where are you not, where in the resentment that you're seeing in other people is that happening within you? Where are you not asking yourself how you're doing? Where are you not taking care of yourself? Where are not you coming to yourself for help? And it hit her like a sledgehammer. She said, wow, Nikki, that is just unbelievable, because resentment has always been around her. And she was always almost like blaming everybody else. It's not fair, it's not fair. In actual fact, I said, every time you look outside of yourself for that resentment, for what they're not giving you, where are you not giving yourself that? And she absolutely saw it completely. That's just what she's putting it out there, not looking within herself into her heart. And that would have also made it very, very hard for her. If her heart was blocked, she couldn't look down into the emotion side of things. So, and also at the beginning of the reading, I also picked an oil for her before we got onto the session, and it came out as ginger. Ginger is the oil of empowerment, and it's also for victim mentality. And at the end, it was just so completely true that she was living the victim mentality of putting responsibility on everybody else, when in actual fact it's for her to look within herself for the answers. And I really feel like after this session that the fact that we've cleared the heart wall, that we've worked on resentment and got rid of a lot of the emotions and helped her to see a different way of looking at situations, that her family and friends and the people around her will pick up on this and start to react differently to her. And so I asked her to go and bring pink into her life, wear a pink scarf if she wants, bring pink into her home, and that every time she sees that colour is to think about the feminine side, and that when she wants to communicate, to really in communication with the clients is really go for the heart. Just put your hand on your heart and then speak from there to bring you into your heart. Already doing that, it just triggers the mind to go into the heart. And we finished the session, and she went to look at her scarves, and there were 28 scarves. And as I said, her subconscious was 28 kilometers thick. So incredible. It's just a very, very powerful session. And I just wanted to speak a little bit about how sessions can turn, that we're not just releasing emotion. This goes into really into a coaching session. And it helps us to see really where things aren't working in life and where things can change. An emotion code is just so powerful, and I really feel like right now, especially what we go through, people are going to be wanting to protect themselves, and I think it's really time to open up. And I think, working on the heart wall, it really helps people to get into communicate with each other, because when we do have a heart wall, literally having a wall that we can't communicate completely with the other person, and there's less connection. And right now I really feel there's a big need for working on heart walls so that people can really fully connect with those around us. And also emotions, releasing emotions of fear and anxiety, and see, how we live in this moment right now, and how this can be improved by releasing past emotions. Oh, there goes my notes. So it looks like, I think universe says, okay, it's time, it's over. So if you want to find out more about me, you can look on my website, which is nickypeet, NICKYPWET.com. You can also look on my Facebook page, which is Energy and Emotion. And you can, or, send me an email at nickypeet111. No, wrong one. That's my other one. It's my other business. Artist Reiki, all in one word, artistreiki@gmail.com. Or send me a message on Facebook. Speak soon.